Yeah, thanks for staying with us on the Sportsmax Zone as we continue to discuss the Reggae Girlz' historic qualification for the round of 16 at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Celebrations and commendations continue to flow. The Jamaica Olympic Association, the JOA, is among the organizations heaping praises. In a press release, the JOA president, Christopher Samuda, said history is indelibly at their feet. The present secured in the palm of their hands and the future in the vision of young girls who are dreaming the possible. The Reggae Girlz are authoring a script in football which is inspiring a nation to aspire where it was thought dreams only resided. The reality is that we can, and they have done it. The Jamaica Olympic Association salutes them and looks forward to sharing the Olympic dream that will become a reality in Paris 2024. Now, we also took to the streets to get reactions to the team's historic feat.
It was another historic day in Jamaican sports as the Reggae Girlz booked their spot at the FIFA Women's World Cup round of 16, moving on to the knockout phase of the tournament. So it sent Jamaicans into a frenzy of happiness, and we've taken to the streets of Halfway Tree to get the reactions from the citizens and hear how they feel.
I'm so glad, I'm overjoyed that we don't score, but we draw with them. And we're gone to the final, get a place for the second round. Well, tell your Reggae Girlz, keep on moving, keep on grooving, keep on doing everything right.
I am happy, excited, elated. I believe that this is the single biggest sporting history in Jamaica. Knowing the quality and the viewership that the World Cup brings, I believe that the girls have brought us to a place where, you know, Jamaica will get value for what they have invested, and I believe that Jamaica should invest more as they propel to the group of 16. I'm going to be watching even more, and it has made me proud as a Jamaican.
Just feel happy for them. I mean, that Jamaica, they make Jamaica proud of them. Jamaica feel good, we feel where them going with, you know, see it? Just feel happy and feel nice.
Well, it's a great achievement, great achievement. The girls them fight to the last every second of the game, so big accomplishment. Just all them can go further and go as far as possible. So it's a good achievement.
For a Reggae Girl, a Fooey girl, not joke. We don't deal with no other girl but Fooey girl. So I feel, say, and I know, say, the Reggae Girl, and them are going to win, man. We don't know losing thing.
I feel so good about the Reggae Girlz. I hope they win. I'm so proud of you guys. Continue doing good. Wish you all the best.
I'm really proud of Jamaican girls, I'm not lie, you see me? Jamaica, I have to beat them up straight, you get me? Yeah, man, I securely said that.
So there you have it, the reactions of those from Jamaica on the streets of Halfway Tree about the Reggae Girlz who made it into the knockout stage of the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Yeah, thanks, Gerard, for that piece coming from Halfway Tree in the middle of the city here in Kingston. Meanwhile, many would argue that the Reggae Girlz' success has come in spite of. They have been at odds with the Jamaica Football Federation, the JFF, accusing the local governing body of not providing enough support to the team. A lack of funding resulted in the Reggae Girlz receiving financial support from fans through a crowdfunding initiative. These initiatives reportedly raising upwards of $100,000 US for the World Cup campaign. Now, the Reggae Girlz goalkeeper Becky Spencer says she hopes the JFF will be more forthright in their support, given the current success of the team.
Obviously, we fight a battle constantly, and you know, for us as players, we've put it to bed for the tournament just to, you know, because we know we've got a point to prove, and the better we do, the more pressure it creates, and you know, we hope that they're looking at us and taking us seriously now, which they should have been doing, and they can give us what we deserve out of everything. Yeah,
player of the match today, Rebecca Spencer, in goal for the Reggae Girlz. We are joined by Zoom by former Reggae girl Tashana Vincent. Tashana, welcome to the Sportsmax Zone. Great to have you on the show. As a former international yourself, I can just imagine the sort of joy and emotion that you're experiencing in the past few hours.
Good evening, Lance. Good evening, Mariah, and everyone sitting there. Hi, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. Forgot it's trouble.
Pardon me?
You said I'm trouble.
Okay, trouble. But Your question, Lance, I'm extremely elated. I'm also in a state of disbelief because I don't think that I would have envisioned that we would be at this point. I never thought that I would live to see us make it to a World Cup, much less make it to 2 consecutive World Cups and be in the round of 16 now. So I'm just on cloud 9 and just waiting for the other game to come.
We talk all the time about giving people opportunities to develop and grow. I say that to say this. The performance of this Reggae Girlz team is about 70% better than the 2019 performance. And many of these players were in France in 2019. As a former player yourself, how would you articulate the kind of improvement that the Reggae Girlz have shown in this 2023 tournament, given the experience they would have gotten from their debut appearance 4 years ago?
I mean, that's easy. Growing up, you have always heard that the game is the best teacher. And these young ladies now are the core of the team has been playing for consistently 4 years together now. They are all playing in different parts of the world, training with the best players in the world week in, week out, and then they come in from time to time and play practice games together. So they're just improving as individuals and they're building team cohesion.
Yeah, Tashana, Lance, he cited the 2019 World Cup, but I'm actually going to let you answer this question personally because you've also been a part of this setup. Can you talk to us about, one, your thoughts on the direction that this Reggae Girlz program is heading, and from your days, how much has things changed?
I mean, right now, based on the experience that I went through before and after the 2019 World Cup, I know for one, the participation of young ladies, not only in Jamaica, but in the region, will increase exponentially. As it relates to coaching education, even myself, since these girls qualified for France, as it relates to opportunities to be an analyst, to be a coaching educator, opportunities in all areas of the sports will be coming to Jamaica. We'll have college coaches coming to find the next best thing. So all we have to do is ensure that we place the proper structure in place at all levels to ensure that we can facilitate whatever development and whatever opportunities that come this way for the young ladies.
Coach, then why is it so difficult for us to try to get the support and the funding that these ladies need?
I think there's a gender bias, and it's not just the region. USA just had a big rift with their federation in terms of equal pay in comparison to the men who were not ranked anywhere as high as they were. But yet still, my take on that is that they maybe need to market themselves, but they had a point. But the JFF now must remember that we don't have a natural source of income coming into the JFF. They have to be very dependent on government, corporate Jamaica, and FIFA handing out to them whatever they can. But the truth of the matter is that we need to have a blueprint. When Mike Ricketts became president, I remember several times that they were talking to him, asking for blueprints, and he said he had one, and up to this day we have not seen any. Now, when you go to corporate for support or even government, they like to know that their money is going to be well spent and you know what you're doing and where you're going. Yeah. If they don't get that sense of security, then the truth of the matter is that they may give you one of those pretty little answers and said, I'll get back to you, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by the comment you made earlier, Coach Edwards, about gender bias, because I remember prior to the start of this FIFA Women's World Cup, FIFA President Gianni Infantino had suggested that he was very disappointed with the broadcast rights take-up by major broadcasters like in Europe and so on, because he had projected a certain level that he would have gotten regarding broadcast rights fees to show the FIFA Women's World Cup, but broadcasters just weren't prepared to pay anywhere near what he was asking. I can't remember the exact figures, but you know, I seem to recall that it may have been like probably 20% of what he really wanted, and he compared that to how much the broadcasters would pay for the men's football tournament. But traditionally, isn't there a problem with women's football being attractive from a traditional standpoint? Because it's very obvious now that the game has grown so much and the quality of the game has improved that they are impressing everyone now. But in people's minds, the tradition of men's football just has this riveted in people's mind that it's so much more of an attractive product than women's football.
It is a little bit more attractive, but the
a
women
little
are
bit more
catching up.
A little bit more.
Yes, because I've coached both, and I find that women, they can play very good football. They have no ego issues, so they take instructions better, and they will play to a
So the
game
men
plan
have ego issues?
Oh yes, a lot of time you have guys, you coach them and they'll step on the pitch and take over the game and do what they want to do. In the female, I may get bashed for it, but it's the truth. In the female section, I find that the female players stick to the plans much better than the men do. But back to your point, where Infantino had to be begging for that support, even in the USA when they had the issue, I was saying that you shouldn't be digging into the men's money to get money. What they need to do is market the women's football better so that you can turn the turnstiles more. If you look at some of the stadiums that they said were sold out, like the one this morning, it was 27,000.
Yes.
In the men's game, you're looking at 60,000, 45,000. You know, these are the problems. People who are going to the games, we're not getting enough people to support the female football, so when that money comes in short, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You have to beg the makeup.
Yeah. Tashana, Mariah just asked you a question just now about the development of football, women's football in the country. And I heard your answer, but I think she probably wanted you to talk a little bit more about how disappointing it has been that after the 2019 qualification, from a local perspective, I don't think that the JFF, as a governing body of football in the country, has done anything significant to ensure that women's football continues to grow.
Honestly speaking, certain topics are a bit tricky. However, please believe that my disdain for certain practices, the need for more emphasis to be placed on the women's game, the need for more support, the need for more funding, my stance on all of that is already known in the right areas, and I speak up whenever there's an opportunity. Sometimes I just don't think that necessarily airing our dirty laundry to the world is the best way to go about it.
I hear you very well, and that was a very politically correct answer.
Can I say something?
Yeah, yes, Coach.
Tashana is a national coach right now, so she has to be very careful what she says.
I understand, yes.
For me, I'm
under
not
15,
a national
right?
coach.
She coaches the under-15s?
Something like that.
Yes, yes.
They move her up and down.
I'm currently Alexander coach, but
so you owe me for that bailout. You owe me for that bailout.
Tashana, you had previously coached the Jamaica under-15 team.
Right.
Yes,
But
I previously served as head coach for the under-15 and assistant for the U20s.
Right.
Oh, that's great. And I guess she doesn't want to antagonize her former employers.
But the truth is that the JFF needs to step up big time.
Yes. I think
big time. A lot more than they have been doing.
Yeah. And you said earlier on that there has to be a dependency on JFF going to corporate Jamaica and also the government. The sports minister, Olivia Grange, spoke today at a press conference and addressed this issue about funding Jamaica's women's football.
I can say to you that I had a good talk this morning with Bonnie Shaw. And I got some clarification. The impression that was given is that they struggled and on their own they got where they got to, and the fact that they had to GoFund account was set up to help them. I spoke with her and I indicated to her that, you know, comments, she has to think twice about the comments she makes because it can embarrass Jamaica, and that a lot of effort and funding has gone into this supporting them. So she agreed. She did clarify the GoFund account that was set up. She indicated it was one of the players' mother who had set it up.
and that the funds were sent directly to them. Each girl got $1,500 to help with their subsistence. So I tell her in future they have to manage what they say and not give an impression that they're not getting the support they need. The support they need may not be 100%, but we do what we can. The government of Jamaica, and that's why I detail what we have done so far, and we recognize they would need some funding directly, and that is why we are now sending them $2,500 each.
Yeah, it is understandable that government, and in this case, Olivia Grange, who is the sports minister, would feel embarrassed if a national team on the international stage points to a lack of funding and struggles with funding. But Sports Minister Grange was at pains just now to try to explain that there has been some assistance, and Coach Edwards, she just wants a balanced picture to be put out there and not leave the international football world with the feeling that the Reggae Girlz are out there on their own.
I never thought the girls were out there on their own. I think the government has always supported football very well.
Yes.
And I'd love to say to the minister that I know the comments were negative and could be damaging to our country or island, but for a fact, I know that they have supported us well, the football fraternity. But I think the concern and the fight is really with the girls and the JFF, because the JFF has been very lacking in supporting the girls, especially with fundings that has been signed off on, promised to them, and stuff like that has not been coming forward to them. So, the girls, yes, they need to be careful and they need to tabulate what they're saying properly and lay it at the right feet.
Yeah.
In the issue of the GoFundMe financial setup that was made, it was Habana Salon, one of the midfielders whose mom started the GoFundMe, and I gather that it accrued something in excess of $50,000 US dollars to assist the girls. But that was something that had been in the news even before they went down under.
Right. And I mean, yes, I can see where to bring up a negative impact on the island, because all the other teams, they're being either funded by their federation properly or their government, and they're all there looking good, comfortable and everything. So when a player from Jamaica pops up and says something like this, it's negative and it's going to be damaging. And I can understand the minister's situation, but I really don't think the government has anything to do with what the players are knocking about. But I don't know. Let's see.
I heard JFF President Michael Ricketts say in the past week that he is ready to stand for re-election later this year at the JFF annual general meeting, and putting his hat in the ring. How does that grab you, Charles?
Not so well. To be honest with you, not so well.
Why not?
I know Michael Ricketts very well. I like Michael Ricketts as an individual from when he was the director of competitions and all of that. But since he has been in office as a president, it has been just blunders after blunders after blunders after blunders. And I think I'm at the point where I've had enough. I've seen enough. It's not organized. He brings in the wrong people to take charge of different departments and stuff like that. There's no plan. There's no blueprint. Where are we going? Where's the development of football in Jamaica? When you have someone coming on radio, not Mike Ricketts himself, but somebody else who came on and said development must take care of itself, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
That's total rubbish. The development of football in Jamaica is a responsibility of the federation. There are so many things that can be done. There's so much talent coming out to the high schools, male and female.
Let me ask a question here.
Yeah.
The voting element for the JFF elections coming up has been significantly expanded, I think about fourfold. But there are many who feel that even in the present structure, Ricketts is still postured or positioned to be re-elected.
Right.
Yes.
Is that your take?
Yes.
And how disappointing is that? Because it sounds to me as if you want him out.
I'd love to see somebody who comes into the JFF with ideas. Someone who can work outside of the present box that the JFF operates in, because that box has been tried, proven, failed over and over and over. We need new ideas. I need to see someone who comes in with the energy, that passion, someone who can see up ahead, far, plan it, and achieve it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't reach there, but get somewhere. Let us see some movements going forward.
All right, Charlie Edwards, we've heard you well, and you've put your cards on the table because you said you like Michael Ricketts. It's not that you...
It's not personal.
It's you're just making a judgment call based on your expertise, your experience in football in Jamaica and where you think the game needs to go. Tashana Vincent, good to talk to you here on the Sportsmax Zone. It's been a tremendous day for football in Jamaica and the Caribbean with the Reggae Girlz qualifying for the round of 16. We anxiously await who the opponents will be next week, Tuesday, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about. Tashana, thanks for talking to us. And Charlie Edwards, former Jamaica national coach, thanks for being here as well.
Thank you all for having me.
Yeah.
Back with more on the Sportsmax Zone after this.